Hello. Welcome everyone. Welcome to the Creator Metaphysical. So, oops. Oh my God. Sorry about that. The crystals fell off the computer. So, this is a double live stream with Instagram and YouTube. So, today's subject, we're talking about how to use animals and insects in your craft. Notice how in the YouTube video I said naturally sourced. What I mean by naturally sourced animals and insects is, for example, if you go out and kill an animal out of greed or an insect out of greed and you're not using what you need to use it for and you're just taking too much, that goes against the laws of nature. But if you need a fourth strength and sturdiness, structure, or even love to the into your life. Now, the reason I made this video is partly due to the fact that I've been receiving a lot of information downloads, and it is a part of my craft, and this is something that I have kept hidden for a while now, and I feel as though it is time for me to accept and claim that I am an eclectic witch, but to claim the aspect of how I utilize natural, uh, the naturally sourced animals and insects. Now, for example, I have this lovely shop down the street where there's this it's called like an epidemiologist. It's some scientific name for basically they study bugs and stuff. And he lets the animals have to live their life. These insects live their life, and um, then he preserves them and sells them to like the stores and stuff. Well, we all know that the lucky rabbit's foot, right? We use the rabbit foot for good luck, right? We use be used for certain balms and creams, right? So, in the magical sense, the animal around the bush here, I'm still finding it hard to express this, so please bear with me. There'll be another video where I go into like recipes and stuff that you can utilize, and so how do I put this? So this guide I'm not sure if he's a guide. I think he's more of a teacher, and he's teaching me how to utilize insects and animals. He's starting with the insects and the bugs, but he'll definitely teach me about animals, but he's sticking to insects and bugs right now. And one of the insects that we're on is the butterfly, and how we can utilize as we know, the butterfly symbolizes transformation, but it can also symbolize the transition from the caterpillar to the chrysalis to the butterfly, right? So it's the transition and becoming the true expression of yourself. He was showing me how to utilize the blue butterfly to express the true, authentic you. He showed me how to use the organite pyramid method to create necklaces, which I'll eventually offer on my website once I get good enough and to utilize these. I will definitely start selling them, like making them. I will definitely start making them for the general public. Um, with that being said, how, as the topic says, how to utilize naturally sourced animals and insects in your craft? Well, first off, you got to think about your intention. So, for example, say if you wanting to have control over your life and give it and protect yourself from things that are out of your control, or to protect yourself from people trying to take control away from you, I would recommend using a spider and the scorpion, or especially the tail, but you could use the whole of the scorpion to create as the spider. It represents control because of the web, right? If anything is out of it touches its touches its web, it sits there, it watches, observes, then it attacks, and then spins its web, and then uses that for fodder for, like, oh, I'm going to take this energy now and use it to get stronger in order to continue to protect and control my reality, right? Well, the scorpion, as you know, is got the stinger, right? So you're using the control, but also protecting your control over your life. And you can utilize the spider to control how your life is going to be. You can channel the spirit of the spider in order, and you could say, for example, you want to add, I saw this, he was showing me how to incorporate the spider and crystals and herbs into this orgonite pyramid. There's a difference between orgonite pyramids and then just the pyramids that we see. Orgonite pyramids they're supposed to be used to transmute lower vibrations into higher vibrations, and for electromagnetic frequency purposes, to harmonize the energy, right? So this is not technically an orgonite pyramid, but he showed me utilizing the method to create those pyramids. He showed me, for example, if you're wanting to control how much money you get in every month, he showed me to use pyrite in gold flecks at the top, at the very top, the tip, right? Layer. So we got the gold and the pyrite in there at the top. Then we let that layer seal. Then he showed me that for the second layer, he showed me to use iris moss and mistletoe, and things. For example, lodestones. You could use lodestones for attraction, or the law of attraction too. And he showed me how to utilize the herbs. Then for the third layer, he showed me lodestones. So he showed me how to utilize lodestones, and basically you have them sitting in your hands, and you just feel the energy pulsate into the crystals, the energy that you generate. Let it pulsate into the crystals. Once you get a good feel for the rhythm, you want to add your intention and what you're wanting to attract. In this case, I want to attract. It's better to have a specific amount rather than an unspecified amount. I find it useful to have a specified amount, because when you're utilizing the law of attraction, and the universe is going to look at you as like, well, exactly how much do you want? So when you say I want an abundance of money, the universe is going to be looking at you like, well, how much are you looking for? Like, how much money are you looking for? So be, again, specific, more specific the better, right? And when for the after the lodestones, I was guided to. He showed me to utilize a white. I think it's called a proxy or some sort of epoxy. I think it's called, and he showed me to use a white epoxy, like completely white, and that's where you put in your parchment paper your specific um, intention. So you write down, oh, this is the amount that I want to create every month. This is the amount that I want to create every year, so on and so forth. This is the amount that I want to create every hour, every minute, every day, every second. You know, the more specific, the more nitty gritty you get it, the better. But I trust me. Um, so after you do that, I was shown how to, after you put in your intention, this is where the last part comes into play. So for the last part, if you don't like looking at bugs, you can use again another clear. You can, after you put your intention, you can put in the spider and the scorpion. And I like to use, my friend suggested, her name's Mama Eve, by the way. Definitely check out her video. She's awesome. She gives a lot of information, and I have come to her for advice. And so I will definitely refer you to Mama Eve. Um, so with that being said, she suggested I utilize the bee, as in being busy as a bee. So I am going to be utilizing for this prosperity orgonite pyramid, the spider. Okay, and then also utilizing the red butterfly for transforming my life in a physical, vital way, and then also the worker bee, of course, as well. And I plan to incorporate a 7 spiral clockwise motion of a copper going inward 7 times. This is to utilize the negative green energy in a powerful, with the 7 inward spiral. As I mentioned before in other videos, how the 7 inward spiral can be utilized to create powerful carrier wave energy from one location to another, right? Well, you can utilize that to project what you want from one location to another. That could be one location in time to another point in time in your life, right? So I'm going to be using that along with that, and then I'm going to be using biogeometry symbols and also putting that as well for angelic harmony and stuff. Now, if you don't like looking at the bug, which I have a hard time looking at bugs, so I just have a phobia of bugs. Hello, Mary. Hello, Lou Honesty. I'm doing a double broadcast with Instagram to record this video. So yeah, I'm probably going to use gloves when handling these bugs because I love bugs, but I just don't like the feel of them. It's like I love you, but kind of stay over there, you know. So I'm probably going to be using rubber gloves because I just have this. I love animals. I love all existence, but I just don't like how they feel. Like, you know how they crawl on you and stuff. It's just ugh. Um. So So yeah, so I'm going to be incorporating all this into organic pyramids. Now, I probably won't be able to produce this product until the beginning of January. So I will definitely be purchasing some items, some proxy resin, some pyramid-shaped silicone molds, so that way I can utilize the silicone molds to make pyramids. and I will be making these. Um, I'm gonna be doing them layer by layer, and so with that being said, I just wanted to share to you how to utilize organite pyramid making method with animals, or for example, insects. So like, for example, if you utilize the stag's antlers, you know how they shed those antlers, right? Well, if you put the Percana ruin and etched it or burned it into the end of the stag horn, I actually have one, and I made it for an actual candle, like a spell jar of mine, but I'm being really drawn to actually utilize it. Um, but I don't have the tools to make what I'm being drawn to use it for yet. So until I have the tools, it's going to remain as a manifestation jar. Are you guys following me so far? Do you have any questions on this at all? Definitely let me know in the comment section if you have any questions whatsoever. Um, like I said, when I say naturally sourced animals and insects, I mean when they've naturally lived their lives to the fullest and they die of naturally. There is a big difference. So, for example, if you're a hunter and you're a gatherer, you know you're hunting for your meat, right? And Native American tradition, Native not just Native American, just regular people, we used to hunt for with just what we need. Now, if we hunted too much deer, that's just us being greedy, right? So if you're hunting just enough for your family to get through the winter and maybe a little extra, that's a little bit fine. That's fine. But if you're just hunting animals in abundant amounts just to be greedy, then and you're pretty much wasting all of the extra meat and stuff, that's where it's going against the law of nature, the balance of the universe or the nature itself. And that's the big difference. If you're doing it, if you're just buying the stuff, if you're just taking the stuff because you want a lot of it and just being greedy, then that is not being naturally sourced, right? So, for example, I have this shop down the street that it's this guy that I think he just studies bugs. He lets them live their life to the fullest, then he preserves them and sells them to people. Well, the store down the street sells his products, and so I that's he just like lets them live the life, let them die as naturally as as naturally, and he doesn't mess with their cycle. So that's what I call locally sourced, naturally sourced places where you can get these insects and bugs. And there is a big difference. My teacher in my dreams has been very adamant in saying you cannot. Um, he said, and this is his words, not mine. When you utilize animals or insects and bugs that have been killed by man in an unnatural way, that's not an accident, or have been killed in the name of being greedy, I'm if you're taking too much, that's leaving an invitation of energetic invitation of inviting bad spirits. He said bad spirits and black woo woo and black juju. And he said there's a difference when you're utilizing the corpse of that thing. Its spirit is gone and past, it's lived its life. There's a difference. You know, it's there, left its body to be used as a tool. Its spirit has passed on. And he was talking about how the spirit of the animal or the entity, left the body. Well, it still has resources there that we can utilize, right? But again, you must not be greedy. Let the spirit live its life to the fullest and naturally die in the laws of nature. It gets a little bit tricky though, because like the laws of nature are not something to just decide one day, like, I decide that I'm going to use animals and bugs in my craft, and I'm just going to decide one day, I'm just going to incorporate them in and do a little study work. For example, it keeps saying the connection is unstable, but I'm seeing the Wi-Fi and it seems to be good. Can you guys hear me okay? Took off my hat because it was getting a little heavy. um so anyway, where was I going with this? So it's not something I would suggest people do. I kind of feel when it comes to utilizing animals, okay, it's probably due to the amount of energy that I've been producing. I have been unlocking parts of myself, and with each part unlocking and releasing old baggage, I kind of notice my energy is kind of getting more powerful, more stronger. Um, so it's these animals. Some people have. I know that there are some practices that use animals as sacrifices, as a sort of compensation for example, people would light a bonfire. They take a live snake and they would slit it down all the way through. They drain the blood of the snake in this cup. Well, they would take the snake and they take the fangs off, right? So they take the fangs, they keep the fangs for later, but they would throw the snake into the fire, and then they'd say whatever kind of chant or incantation in order to bring about protection. Because snakes, fangs, protection. Um, there have been instances where they utilize the mane of a lion and they weave and twine the lion's mane, and they could utilize that as a way of strength and or to transfer one energy to another. So it's like there's a lot of this is deep. Like, consider it the dark web of the spirit realm, right? It's not a place I would take very lightly. This is, however, something that I have been denying of myself. I know that in many past lives, have utilized this particular kind of magic of the animals for my craft. As I was a shaman, I was a medicine man and woman. I utilized the animals to bring forth healing and good stuff to the world. And I've kind of felt like I need to pursue this avenue again to see if it's something I want to do in this lifetime. I do feel a calling to reconnect to this part of myself and see if it's something that I want to practice in this lifetime. I know that I have read books on it. I do know that I am not alone in this because I keep having this teacher come to me in my dreams, teaching me this stuff. And I do feel that I have protection. So if anything comes awry or gets kind of crazy, I will definitely be protected in this matter. Now, this is something you don't want to take lightly when you're utilizing the animals and the insects in your craft. If you're, um, like I said, naturally sourced animals, when they naturally die, okay, but if they naturally die by nature's hand, that's what I would say would be the best best time. That would be the best kind of uh, animal or insect you would use. If you kill it before it's lives its life, then it leaves an invitation energetically of allowing the door for bad spirits to take over the energy work and for them instead of for you, right? Um, so there is a difference. There is a big difference. Um, so yes, I hope this is been informational. Is there any questions about how to use animals and insects in your craft? Now, this is different from familiar. This is actually using the remains of the body that was left by the spirit of the animal. There is a big difference. Um, like I was saying, I want to go back to the point that when you're utilizing animals and insects, naturally sourced or not, you're still utilizing the primal energy that is the laws of nature itself. These animals that we utilize in our craft, in our medicine, or in our foods, they are connected so deeply with the earth and the energy of earth, and they experience the laws of nature on a deep, deep level. And so when you're utilizing them for your craft or for whatever purposes you may use them for medicine, be mindful. Yeah, I hope I'm explaining it as well as my teacher explained it to me, and uh, I hope so. And it's like I emphasize again, don't take this information lightly. If you pursue this path, and I emphasize, make sure that they are locally, like naturally, they've naturally died by nature's hand instead of our hand. Now, of course, there's a big difference. For example, if we go and hunt for our deer and we just getting food for our family, that is by nature's hand. But if you're saying, say for example, you only need one big healthy stag to feed your family, right? Well, what if you take not just one, but two or three extra stags along with that one that you were supposed to hunt for your family, right? Well, by spring or summer, that food could spoil and rotten, so you're wasting the energy where that could have been used for someone else's family or someone else's kid. You're taking more than what you need. Um, Everything is connected, and so there is a big difference. Now, I emphasize again, there is when you're doing this kind of craft, you're utilizing the laws of nature. I tend to utilize native indigenous people from native what we consider Native American and utilize their knowledge of like the powwow animals and the spirit animals. I utilize that information because I trust that information the best. And I kind of feel like I need to pursue this magical path of animal working because of hello hurricane uh Jersey, hello. Um, you're in the middle of a live stream that's been on for 30 minutes and 41 and counting. So feel free to rewatch the video anytime. I'm doing a double live stream with YouTube and Instagram. So yeah. So where was I? I like I said, you know, it's I utilize the Native American information because I find that to be the most reliable for me. Um, I also feel like the reason why I have this calling is because a lot of my there's a big portion of my blood that's related to the Guatemalan, the Mayan, Aztecian ancestors, and so I feel like there's a because they use that as they have used human sacrifices. Now I'm not going to sacrifice a human, but I'm just saying they've used animal and human sacrifices for their god. So I feel like it's in a way, for me anyway, I think this is a way for me to connect. I feel not just connect, but it's more of it's within my blood. The magical practice. I feel as though like there's a reason why I'm being called. It's blood related. It's like related to my ancestors. I think this is their way of trying to help me create and work with the laws of nature. If people understand the laws of nature, if we don't go against the flow, but ride with the tide, we're able to flow easily and transition from one cycle to the next, right? So I feel like this is a way for me to learn on a deep level how to go with nature's tide and to go with the flow of energy and to transition with ease too. So yeah, I am going to head off this live stream and I will be back in a few minutes. I want to call someone really quick, and then after I call them, I will go on live again, and we will be talking about different recipes that I've created. I do not have. I'm gonna be recording my magical recipes because I do not have family. I do not have any kids or kin, and the ones that are my family don't want anything to do with me. I am giving this knowledge to the people who will utilize this knowledge with good faith and perfect trust that you will pass this on to your children and to your families and your family's family. And it hopes that this information will live on through you guys. So I wish you all well. Namaste. God bless. Alawapa, Udu. Much love.